James and Riley. I'm not gonna.
Ooh, almost knocked myself out. Well, welcome back to Culture Makers. I'm your host, Vince Parker, here with Emma. Emma, how you doing? Are you good?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is our first time to get to hang out and do this together.
Yes, sir.
You have a host of amazing topics. I don't know if people know this or not, but you're the one who actually helps come up with the topics, the things that we get to discuss.
Recently.
I mean, you're crushing it here, but you're very humble. But thank you, for all that you do. So we got a good thing to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Exciting. The first one is Halloween costumes.
Yes.
They were all the rage. I saw a few.
Yeah.
Celebrities go off to next level. That's how I feel every time. I think to myself, I wish I had the kind of money to invest in a 3-hour get-up. Because it's like they bring in makeup artists, custom-made stuff. I don't know, that's how I feel. I think it's incredible next level, the extent they go to, and I think it's, how do I say this? It's inspiring about how we should probably, in life, approach things that really matter.
Bring excellence.
Bring excellence because it inspires others and honors God. Did you see any that you liked?
I did see Kendall Jenner's was cool. I didn't know what it was though. I had to look it up. It was from some Tim Burton movie, but.
Oh, you had to look it up?
Yeah.
You had to Google it.
I did.
Okay.
Her hair was like 3 feet tall.
Russell Westbrook and his wife did The Bride of Chucky, and that was really cool.
One of my neighbors dressed as the little Chucky doll, and he's like 3, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. He was too small to be doing that.
Ooh, scary. Okay. Any others that you said that you liked?
I will say Rebel Wilson was not that I liked, but I felt like it was low effort. She dressed as the Squid Games people.
Oh, I saw a lot of Squid people just walking around, like a lot of PlayStation faces walking around. You know what I mean? So here's the important question. This is for you out there. You can let us know in the chat. This is what matters. Halloween's over. Mm-hmm. Is it time for Thanksgiving or time for Christmas?
I think it's time for Thanksgiving.
Come on!
So you are not a skipper.
I don't skip.
Come on, somebody.
You wait in the moment of what's next and don't move beyond.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends that are skippers?
Definitely. There's
I just
tons.
made that turn up skipper. I hope that's not a derogatory term for people who skip past Thanksgiving and go straight to Christmas.
Isn't that like a thing for somebody on a boat?
Oh, like Gilligan's Island. You don't know what that is, do you?
I know what it is, but I've never watched it.
Of course, because it came out way, 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 way before you were born. But that's okay.
You a Gilligan fan?
I saw it in reruns. I'm not that old that I saw the original. So, okay, here's the deal. I'm a late Christmas person. Mm-hmm. So it's not like right after Thanksgiving. It might be like 2 weeks before Christmas before I'll put stuff up. Are you that late?
Usually like December, like the start of December, I'll start putting up lights and all that.
Okay. Question for you. In Poland, there was an MMA fight between a man
and a woman.
And a woman, yes. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that was an unfair match to begin with. I understand that weight classes were the same, but I think it's a different skill set, and I think that was kind of set up to fail.
Yeah. I can see that. I think the thing that I thought was weird is basically I'm hearing that the crowd, when the ref stopped the fight, was like mad, even though the guy was weaning, throttling, and they were mad. They're like, no, let it keep going. Yeah. Which was strange because that's how MMA fights work. Refs stop fights all the time. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I don't understand why people were mad. I don't know why they wanted to see this woman get beat down like that. But very strange, very weird. We should never wish for that people are hurt. I get MMA is a dangerous sport, right? But in life, no matter what you do, because I even heard, there's even controversy, I don't know if you heard this, but there was a school in Inglewood that won a football game 106-0. So in all, when it comes to like, hey, you have the ability to throttle someone, we're both kind of saying like, hey, you shouldn't we're not saying you shouldn't bring your best because we just agreed excellence matters.
Yes.
Right? Honors God, inspires others. But at the same time, you shouldn't use your excellence to humiliate, embarrass, or do harm that cannot be revoked, like permanently injuring someone or even just abusing people. You know, that just doesn't feel very Christ-like as we walk in our faith. And I think sometimes, as you've heard us say before, like that's some of the things that people don't like about Christians. Right? And so I think those are very good examples of that. So good thoughts on that. Okay, now you told me about this because I wasn't unaware, but Kanye invited Marilyn Manson to another, gospel event, this time with Justin Bieber. Tell us about it. How'd that go?
I mean, it was cool. Everybody.
Were you there?
Oh, no, I wish. That would have been cool.
Man, yeah, if you go and you get the hookup,
I'll let you know.
Can you holler at me?
Definitely.
See if you get an extra ticket. I appreciate that. And Kanye, you watching this, and now you watch Kanye. We talk about you a lot. Hook us up. Get me and Emma. James isn't here, so don't worry about bringing James or Riley or any of those other people. Just me and Emma. It was Emma first, then me.
I thought it was really cool to see everybody dressed in white, ready to praise God. I think it's also really cool that Kanye continues to reach out and continues to invite Marilyn Manson, despite the controversy and the backlash that he got the last time, because I think that that's our duty as Christians, is to continue to pour into people.
To reach out, to care, to show that friendship, that love, because as Christ followers, we're called to be the light. Right? And it's really hard to be a light in a well-lit room.
That's true.
Right? Like, basically, we're called to go into the world, to reach people, to plant seeds. And what Kanye is doing is planting seeds. Right? So that's cool. I like that. Now, that kind of leads to our question of this week, which is, why is it so hard for people to share, for me to share the Gospels with others? Why do you think that is?
I know in my case, it was always really hard because I grew up in a Christian home. I thought, oh man, like nobody needs to hear just another story of some girl that was raised in church. And I didn't have anything super dramatic or life-changing up until I started following Christ. And so I thought for the longest time that my life was just like boring and that people couldn't take anything from it. And it's also kind of hard for it to come up organically in conversation. Like for me, just in school, like that was never anything that I talked about until I started like seeking it out and kind of putting myself out there a little bit, which was really scary. But once you start, it's like you can't stop.
That's true. I agree with that. I know for me, at times it's been hard because like I got this fear of rejection. And for some reason, I actually thought the win of inviting someone to church was the fact they actually went, they actually gave their life to Christ. Like I was owning way too much of what God was doing by just me simply planting a seed, by just saying, hey, man, I'd love for you to join me at church. And I was just like, man, if they don't get all the way, and then I get all scared and intimidated, and it'd be like the enemy likes to lie to us, and so I just wouldn't do that. So I wouldn't be planting the seed until I just learned, man, sometimes it's about planting a seed. And then sometimes sharing your faith is kind of like what Kanye's doing, like sharing his life with Marilyn, of saying like, hey, he's seeing how he's living. He's like, hey man, just come be a part of, come make music. So you might be an artist, you might be like, hey, come make art with me, right? Or you might be a graphic designer, hey, come do some graphics with me. Or you might be a landscaper, come landscape with me. Or a baker, or you guys are all in school, so you might need to study, hey, come study with me, come help me get a good grade. But them watching you live and make the decisions you make and doing the things you do, I'm like, I can't study on Sunday or Wednesday because I'm going to church, makes a great difference. And it opens doors for you when people see how you live your life and they see something different and special about you, for you to plant that seed, invite them to church. Several ways to do it. One of my favorite ways is just to say, hey, how you doing? I don't know if you have a place you love to go to church, but I love my church and I love what God's doing through that. And I love to invite you. Do you have a favorite way to invite?
My favorite way to invite to church is just like yours, just a casual little, hey, I'm doing this thing, you want to come with me? But I also love the little invite cards that we do, because I keep them in my wallet and it's the easiest thing, like when we go out to eat, just to leave it on the table, Oh,
that is nice. Like maybe, do you ever write a note on it or a note on the receipt?
It depends on if they give me a pen. If they leave it behind, I'll leave a little note.
Sometimes they be holding on them pens real tight.
So, Vince, did you see Colin Kaepernick's new docuseries on Netflix?
I saw the, what's the thing when you go to Netflix and then the
Here For You?
Yeah, the stuff popped up like it was the big thing, but I haven't seen anything more than that. What was it like? I haven't even heard people say anything much about it.
I haven't seen all of it, but what I have seen, word on the street, it's Very controversial.
Word on the street. Controversial. Man, that's crazy. You know, because when you think about things that are controversial, we live in a very divided world, a very divided society where it's like, you're either on my side or you're against me. Not like, hey, you're either like apples or oranges. It's more like either you like oranges or you're an orange hater, right?
They're very polarizing statements.
So are they trying to cancel them again?
I would, some people.
I think in today's society, something important for us to know and remember when we think about these things is how do we actually live as Christ followers in a way that when people say things that we disagree with, that we have the grace to still love these people, but yet the truth to not necessarily get sucked into what they may be saying. Now, I've never seen Colin's thing, so I have no idea what he's saying there, so I can't be comment on what he's saying. But I can say this, it's to me, the society we live in, it's crazy. You'll just like, hey, I like apples. And I'll be like, I don't. And people are like, I'm done with you. I can't no more. You apple hater, how you hate apples. And I think in this case with Colin, he's been a part of some things that have caused people in our society to be like, I'm done with you, your decisions, your ideas, your beliefs. And it even sounds like he's probably have maybe leaned more into that. I know, I haven't seen it. You said you haven't seen it all. But I think it's important for us, as Scripture calls us, to love one another. It doesn't say love one another if they agree with you, love one another if they have the same beliefs as you, love one another if they have the same ideologies as you, but it says to love one another. It's actually easy, the Bible says, to love those who believe and love you, but difficult to love one who does not like you or hates you. And we have to be intentional about loving people, and it's really hard to love someone if you not hang out with them and spend time with them and get to know them and know their stories and be okay with the fact that their story does not match your story, but that God can still use you in a mighty way in their life. And so, but that takes grace and truth, not just a bunch of truth that just sends people running to the other way. So, hey guys, here's the deal. I don't know what you can learn from it, but learn this. Love one another.
You have to suppress your pride a lot because you think that you're right. And I guess like this makes me sound old, but like in today's society, you can't go around thinking that you're always right.
I don't think that makes you sound old at all. And since I'm significantly older than you, please don't think that you're old, because then that'll make me think that I'm old.
You're not old.
Okay. Whew. Boy, that's good, because James says the exact opposite every single episode. I had to get counseling about it. He tells me I'm old so much. Yeah. So
James has gotten called out these last couple episodes.
Yeah, good. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all keep calling out James, because you know he be wilding sometimes. But shout out to you, James. We love you. Emma, this has been amazing hanging out with you. We get to hang out all the time, but we've never done Culture Makers together, and this has been a ton of fun. So thank you for all that you do. And thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, ask your questions, because we are all about being culture makers. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.